go.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for bearing with us in the last meeting. I guess we're going to jump into the first finance meeting for the year 2026. I'll call this meeting to order. Item 1 is a discussion of possible consideration of a resolution. The city has been awarded a Safe Streets for All grant in the amount of $463,000 to develop comprehensive safety action plan that
Mr.
requires the...
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
shouldn't we nominate the chair first, or?
Oh, we should, yes. Thank you. Yeah,
And,
thank you.
and with that segue, I nominate Mr.
Yeah.
Keller to be our chairman.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I told you I didn't want that to be as awkward, and I just did it, didn't I? No. So I'm going to yield. Yeah, I was just going to get that discussion. So we have a nomination for Mr. Keller to be the finance chair, and all in favor? Or do I have a nomination and a second? I need a second. Yeah,
Second.
I need a second nomination and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, then Mr. Keller, you will be. Go ahead and read that, Mr. Keller, and then I'll jump in there.
Item 1 is discussion and possible consideration of a resolution. The city's been awarded the Safe Streets for All SS4A grant in the amount of $463,380. Would require an 80-20 local match of approximately $100,000 to develop comprehensive safety action plan. Mr. Mayor, what can you tell us about this?
All right, well, this is something I'm bringing to you guys because you guys control the purse strings. This is a grant that we initially went after because there was some federal funding that we thought was going to be available and that we're going to be seeking. And right now, that funding is not there and it's not available at this point in time. So I really don't know that it's worth... We've sat down with Garver, tried to get them to trim their costs down a little bit because it came in a little bit more than what we thought, and I don't know that it's worth us expending $100,000 at this point in time in our budget for a document. Basically, what we're doing is getting an engineer's design of what's called a safety action plan. During the process of looking through this and talking with different engineering, different cities, we have found that some other cities have put together some things on their own. And so I feel like we can, with the staff that we have in-house, potentially put this together for much less money instead of accepting. I know it's kind of crazy to say we want to turn down a $400,000 grant, but at the end of the day, I have to say, okay, or is it smart to spend $100,000 of our money right now for something that I can't sit in front of somebody and say, hey, this unlocks this potential, you're not going to get this. I think it's wise to move forward with developing a safety action plan, but I don't know that it's, to me, that the juice is worth the squeeze and spending taxpayer dollars right now on that. At the end of the day, I don't get a vote. There's 8 of you up here that can say, hey, we need to move forward with this, or no, I feel like we can put this on hold right now and work through and try to develop something in-house, because there's no really ironclad criteria that really in developing this safety action plan. And so I think, to me, the possibility of doing this in-house looks better for the end user as far as the taxpayer and being more physically responsible with our money.
I may have completely missed it, but didn't you say that the money's no longer available?
No, the money, well, okay, so this is a stepping stone to larger federal grants, And the climate of federal grants is a little bit different than what it has been. And so I just don't know that it's worth us putting that $100,000 into this at this point in time, when I feel like we can do, after having some conversation with other places and some engineering firms, is that I feel like we can put something together. We can go back to Garver or Half and Associates or someone that is a traffic engineer and say, okay, does this look good? Will this do what we need for a fraction of the price, if that makes sense? But at the end of the day, I don't get a vote. I'm just bringing it to you guys.
I'm not a finance committee member, but I'm going to ask this question. What's a
Yes.
fraction?
I think
kind
we
of
can.
fraction?
I think we can do it in-house with the staff that we have, and go back to an engineering firm and, ask for what am I looking at? A review for under $10,000. So, something ask them to review that, and I think we can be much less. And like I say, we do have the ability, under Ms. John Dahl's current description, she is long-term planning consulting under her plan, and we also have a great engineering staff with Mr. Newman, Mr. Shannon that's here, and Armando. So I think we can take some time, because I don't think the climate's going to change anytime soon as far as federal funding, and so I think we just need to. That's just my recommendation. So.
Make a motion to move this to the full council with a recommendation of denial, with the caveat that we work towards it with our staff.
I have a motion to move this to full council with a caveat that we move forward with current staff to work toward a safety action plan. I have a motion to second. Any discussion? Mr. Keller, you were about to speak.
Yeah, I was curious. You say it's a stepping stone to other larger grants. If we do this in-house, will that preclude the other grants that you're talking about? Like, we would
No.
not be able to apply for those?
No,
or?
it will be a safety action plan that we've done in-house that will have the review
Okay.
of a traffic engineer, so.
So it's the safety action plan that is the stepping stone?
Yes.
Not this grant?
Not this grant.
This grant just kind of pays for that stepping stone, which we can do in-house? Okay.
Yeah, so. Like I say, I've spent time talking with other mayors and different things, and trying to work through this to try to figure out what would be our best fiscally responsible thing to do, and I feel like that's the best thing. So I have a motion, the second. Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor? Oh, that's you, never mind, gosh.
You taking over?
I am taking over again. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Keller.
Aye.
Well, I was the one telling all the stuff, so I'm gonna back
No,
off.
it's no problem. Any more discussion on item one? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item one to the full council with a recommendation to not approve, please say aye. All those opposed of not approving, say nay. Okay, so I think it passes as not approved. Pass to fail. Okay, great. Item two, consideration of a resolution to authorize the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to execute the 2026 contract between the city and the Alliance for, Arkansas Valley Alliance for Economic Development. Moving forward, item two, the full council with a recommendation of approval. Is there any discussion on item two?
Was there any changes?
Where's she at?
She's right behind the youth council.
Yeah.
I didn't even see her.
Yeah, she's slunched back down there.
Is there any other discussion on item two? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item two to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Item two is forwarded. Item three is consideration of a resolution to authorize the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to execute the 2026 contract between the city and Main Street, Russellville. Moving forward, item three to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Any discussion on item three?
Any changes?
Any further discussion on item 3? Hearing none. All those in favor of forwarding item 3 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Item 3 is forwarded. Item 4 is consideration of a resolution to authorize the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to execute the 2026 contract between the city and the Boys and Girls Club. I move we forward item 4 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Can I have Ms. Caldwell come to the podium and introduce herself so that everyone can meet her after this?
Yes. Is there a second to forward item 4 to the full? Okay. Discussion. Ms. Caldwell,
Yes.
would you like to come up? And please.
If you would, just state your name there.
Hi, I'm Dana Caldwell, the new CEO of the Boys and Girls Club. I took my position December 22nd.
We're excited to have you.
Thank you.
How long have you and Rob lived in Russellville?
26 years.
26 years. So it's good to have you at the helm of Boys and Girls Club. We're excited.
I'm excited too. I look forward to the partnership.
Is there any changes on this one?
Is there any other discussion on item 4? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 4 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Item 4 is forwarded. Items 5 and 5A. Item 5 is consideration of a resolution to enter into an agreement with Tyler Technologies for services and goods. And item 5 is consideration of an appropriation ordinance in the amount of $360,200 from Fund 7 for the city portion of the project. Moving forward, items 5 and 5A to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Is there any discussion on 5 and 5A? Who can come tell us about Tyler Technologies?
Mr. Varnell, do you want to come up? Or Mr. Varnell and Mr. Vick? This is kind of a combination. Well, it's a partnership with RPD, RFD, and Pope County 911. So it's really exciting for the city.
All right, so currently the Russellville Police Department uses a records management system that we bought in 2003. All right, so if you can imagine any other technology you bought in 2003, it's outdated. We've noticed several glitches that we have in the data that we pull. So for instance, if I ask our records management system how many traffic stops we conducted in the past year, if I ask that same question 3 times, I'm gonna get 3 different answers, and all 3 answers may not be accurate. So as you can imagine, this affects what we're able to accurately report to the federal government, to state government, information that we might have for grants. In addition to that, it's also the records management system that handles our evidence tracking. So you can run into some chain of custody issues when you have glitches, and we've encountered a few of those. So for the past year, we've been in talks with Tyler Technology, along with Chief Vick and Pope County 911, in order to try to get our costs down on this. And we've gotten the cost down pretty significantly by working together. What we're asking for the $360,000 allows us to get all 3 years of the software as a service agreement paid up front, and that's going to prevent us from having a 5% cost increase each year after that.
Will the cost after the 3 years, is that something we're hoping to put in the annual budget of the police, fire, and like throw all this in? So, because I'm sure there will be continued costs.
Yes, yes. And that's one of the things that Chief Ewing and Brittany have talked about, and we think that we'll be able to handle that cost once.
Is the lifeline on this as long as the 2003? I mean, that's a pretty long lifeline. Like, do they see this one lasting 10+ years? This price?
It's cloud-based, so it'll stay with the current technology.
Okay, so it'll be adaptable and they'll change it
20 years
because it's
long.
cloud-based. I like it.
Does that mean we're paying a monthly subscription?
It's a
this-
yearly subscription, so the city's share of that would be $90,000 and some change a year. But then with that $90,000, we were guaranteed a 5% cost increase each year. So what we negotiated is paying all the first 3 years up front and negating that 5% increase. So we anticipate saving a lot of money that way. After that 3-year service agreement is up, we'll have to renegotiate at that point, and I'm sure they're going to want to tack on their price increases at that point.
So 3 years at 90,000 is less than 360. Am I missing something there?
That's all 3 years, plus the initial startup costs. They're going to come on scene. They'll probably be here, Josh, for what, a month maybe, migrating all of our data over to the new system. They've also got some work they've got to do over at dispatch, migrating data, training staff, things of that nature. We also have to pay their travel costs, so that's all factored in.
And they gotta develop all the interface fees so that everything can communicate, and that's a one-time upfront fee for that. So that's all inclusive for the entire project. It comes in 3 years.
Any further discussion on items 5 and 5A? Hearing none, thank you. Hearing no further discussion, all those in favor of forwarding 5 and 5A to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Items 5 and 5A are forwarded. Items 6 and 6A. Item 6 is consideration of a resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk treasurer to execute a contract with HTW Architects and Engineers for the design services for the renovation of Shiloh Park facilities. And 6A is consideration of an appropriation ordinance for, from the 2026 Parks and Rec Special Fund in the sum of $52,000 to be used to fund the design services for the Shiloh Park restroom and concession stand renovations. Move we forward items 6 and 6A to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Is there any discussion on items 6 and 6A?
I'm really glad they're working on this because it really
Yes.
What's the scope of it? Is it the entire park, or is it
Oh,
just the
this is the bathroom
just
facility.
the
We're
bathroom
going
and
to,
concession?
we're going to tear down the bathrooms, totally redo the septic system, add on, and there will be some covered picnic area, and then we're going to try to tie into the concession stand too, aren't we? Yeah. Yes. With the fact that we're hosting so many tournaments and putting turf in out there, this is a key project for us, and so it's going to be really good.
Is there any further discussion on items 6 and 6A? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding items 6 and 6A to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Items 6 and 6A are forwarded. Item 7 is consideration of a resolution to execute an MOU with the Friends of the Lattimore Tourist Home. I move we forward item 7 to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Any discussion on item 7? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 7 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Item 7 is forwarded. Item 8 is consideration of a reimbursement request to the Boys and Girls Club for the fourth quarter of 2025 expenses in the amount of $33,580.65. I move we forward item 8 to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Any discussion on item 8?
What does that make our total for the year? But this was for the
But it
fourth
was for
quarter.
last year.
Yeah, but it actually counts in this year.
Oh, but it counts for, okay.
You know,
For a year, and it's a reimbursement scenario. What we plan to pay is quarters 4, 1, 2, and 3, so that the expenses can happen before we reimburse them.
Okay.
What fund does this come from?
This comes out of the general fund.
general fund.
Any other discussion on item 8? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 8 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye. All those opposed, say nay. Item 8 is forwarded. Okay, item 9 is a line item transfer for budget cleanup. And Mayor, I'm going to ask you, how would we need to
I think we-
Line item transfers from several line item numbers.
Yeah, we're just basically, this is kind of cleaning up the budget at the end. I mean, you just, like I say, we're just taking from one, it's the same account, but we're taking from one line item inside that account to clean it up as far as without having to come in and bring funds from a different fund. So it's just cleaning up those funds at the end of the year. I think we've done this every year.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and so that would be,
So this is from the fire pension expense fund to the several items here.
yes, and then
Okay.
you've got and then you've got some street in item 10, correct, Ms.
Yeah.
Baker? So,
Essentially, budget line items that we did not spend completely cover the deficits in other line items that we not went over. And that's that we don't spend any deficit, it just balances the budget.
yep,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
novel idea.
I can't remember. I move forward item 9 to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Any discussion on item 9? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 9 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Item 9 is forwarded. Item 10, same thing, line item budget transfer. It's going to come from signal maintenance in the amount of $34,132.01, going to several different line items. Moving forward, item 10 to the full council with a recommendation of approval. Any discussion on item 10? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 10 to the full council with a recommendation of approval, please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Item 10 is forwarded. And item 11 is a discussion regarding cards CPI rate increase. Mr. Mayor, what can you tell us about this?
We were informed by Cards that they were going to bring, under their contract, they have a option of consumer pricing index increase, and they were going to exercise that this year to bring a CPI rate increase to the end user, which is the citizen, and in that amount. I'm trying to find that because I don't have my packet. It's 5%, yeah, so, yeah, I don't have that in front of me.
Where did
I'm
they
sorry.
get that number?
Yeah, what is the isn't it supposed to be tied to the
Yeah,
CPI?
Trey capped it at 5%, so they couldn't go any higher. Then it's in your packet there, so.
How do you, so I've sent out hundreds of CPIs in the last 2 weeks, and all of them annually have been 2.6, and I saw a number today that came out was 2.7 for the last 12 months of CPI. So
Yeah.
I don't know how we're getting to 5%, but I would like to know for other
Okay,
areas.
we'll go back and look at that CPI and see where that's at. Let me see where it says enclosed. And it may be the CPI index that they're looking at for solid waste. Yeah, for solid waste. It's a CPI for, TPIU, okay. Garbage rate. Yeah, so,
We talked about this
Well,
when we did their contract,
yes.
but I don't remember if we settled on CPI or CPIU, or, because there was some discussion.
Let me see.
yeah, I mean, I'd like to have time.
Trade allotted, we allotted a 5%.
Yeah, and he capped it at that so that they couldn't go, he could not go any higher than that, and they couldn't bring anything more to us.
It says there's an attachment from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, but I don't see that in our packet.
We do have a packet where?
That's the only thing I have.
Okay. Okay, I'll get that out to you. I didn't know that it wasn't.
I'd like to see that, actually.
2026.
Also, can you pass along that I've not seen any advertisement for the recycle program or any of that they were promising they were gonna do as well, like informing the public, and we talked about QR codes, and we talked about all kinds of stuff, and unless I'm missing something, I haven't seen a bit of that,
I can bring them, okay.
besides missing my house 3 times in the last year, but whatever.
Sarah and I had a conversation with Cards in, what was that, August or September?
Okay.
And didn't they, I mean, that was one of the things we discussed was,
Yes, and we haven't gotten any reporting from them. They are assisting with,
In-house, we're working on a recycling education campaign that we'll be posting to the Facebook page to let people know what they can and cannot recycle. But we talked with Cards about getting waste diversion reports. We talked to them about getting advertisement out on what is recyclable, since the containers that you all received in the city of Russellville don't show that it's a recycling container. It's kind of counterculture to what we had previously had for containers, which one was the recycling container versus the trash container. I don't know that we've gotten anything from them. I've asked
We
a
talked
couple
about-
times about
they
the
were gonna
waste diversion reports and haven't received those.
Wasn't one of the things he said he was gonna do was put stickers on the,
Yeah, it says right here. but I don't
Correct,
see
and
it.
we
On the
don't have
can.
any
Look at that and
stickers
see,
or
I don't know if
anything.
that's-
Well, I saw my recycle bin several times get dumped in a regular trash bin when it was, because they alternate the weeks. So every 2 weeks they pick up trash and recycling.
I brought that up at this meeting, and I was
Yeah.
told it's going to a common sorting facility, and that gets sorted out, but that doesn't make any sense to me, because that sends a message to citizens.
no, you
Well, I
can't do
just
that.
put it wherever I want
I have
to.
not seen my recycle be picked up by a trash truck. If you do that, please let me know.
Well,
'cause
I
will-
have. That's why I had this meeting with, well, I called, one of the reasons I called it with Cards, so, with Sarah a few months ago, so.
And all of the recycle is taken to Green Source, and that's not a common recycling facility.
No.
Like, they don't bring commingled trash, it's only recycled. So if we are noticing that they are collecting the recycle bin with the trash collecting truck, then we do need to kind of take note of that, let my office
No,
know.
I'm
I'm
just
happy
trying-
to
no, I'm just
follow up with
researching.
them, because I've still been requesting the waste diversion reports. We know where recycling gets, the commodities get sold to and what it gets turned into. We've been doing a lot of research over the last year, and talking with Green Source and talking with Cards to try and kind of clean that up. We know that our recycling education campaign has to increase so that people know what they can and cannot recycle, because that's one of the issues that we've run into. I think one thing I would like to see is that they are doing more education. They have agreed to participate in our first annual Earth Day event that we're going to be hosting in April at James School Park, and so they'll be there with that. So they're helping assist with events, but they're not necessarily doing the marketing materials that I believe they agreed to as well, Chris. And that's something we've been trying to work on, and we're not getting a lot of traction on that.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna be a good partner and give them their CPI per contract, then we need to get in exchange what's deserved to us in the contract. So I think that's only fair, and I don't know what the legal, I'm sure Trey's gonna tell me no, but I'd hold on their CPI until they start their end of the bargain, but I don't think we can legally do that.
Well, I will look in that. I'm actually trying to find that right now on the,
Speaking of the CPIU, that came out today. This is from the U.S. Congress Joint Economics Committee. The fiscal year 2025 Consumer Price Index, CPIU, inflation was 3.01% year over year.
is that for garbage and trash? So I'm trying to look.
That's the CPIU. So if that is what they're using.
Well, it says there's a CPIU.
For garbage and and that's what I'm trying to locate that on this, and I'm not finding it right here, but I will look at that.
Surely they wouldn't, like, not understand that we don't have
Yeah. Do you have it, sir?
Can we move this to, with no
Because they're saying 5.4.
recommendation and discuss it at full council?
Mr. Smith
next
has
time?
found it, so,
This goes from December 24 to December 25.
okay, so. Okay, let me reach out to them tomorrow on that and see what we're.
I make a motion to move this to the full council with no recommendation.
This is,
You're moving the discussion to the full council with no recommendation?
yeah, it's just a discussion, and so, like I say, but I'll find more, I will come back with more information, and then Mr.
Well-
Smith, Would you share that with me so that I could, or share that link with me, and I'll reach out to Cards and ask them where they're coming up with their 5.4 number.
So for discussion for the meeting next Thursday, Mr. Olson? Thursday?
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
think we need to move it to the full council
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure that I understood. Okay.
for discussion
Yeah.
with no recommendation.
All those in favor of, or is there any more discussion on item 11? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding item 11, the discussion to the full council with no recommendation? Oh, I guess with no recommendation, please say aye. Sorry, I kind of stopped there, I spaced out, sorry. Please say aye. All those opposed say nay. Item 11 is forwarded to the full council. Mayor, it's the last thing on our agenda, and hopefully it'll be better moving forward.
All right. We are adjourned, and if you guys are good, we're going to go right into agenda prep real quick. Let's get this over. I'll call to order the first January 13th agenda prep meeting for the year of 2026. Mr. Gray, do you have your magic number maker? Yeah. 1 to 31.
Make them good.
29. Never had 29 before. 15.
And 4.
4. All right, so we got 29, 15, and 4. All right. Okay, so Mr. Duval, you want to come and give us a quick 2 minutes, 2 seconds on Public Works?
Oh, man, that's my favorite part. It takes long to
I agree.
It's Mr. Chuck Woolery. We'll be back in 2 and 2.
Wow, that's a blast from the past.
Okay, Waterloo, East 2nd Street, we had encountered a few problems over there, but the mayor's helped with that, so I think everything's been corrected and the project is moving forward. If you've been over there today, you can see there's some pavement down, so it's moving. The Tampa Utica Drainage Project, right now they're putting up all the fences back that we had to take down and the sod. And after we do a walkthrough, that job's complete. It's all but finished, and it's looking very nice. Sidewalk maintenance right now, as of yesterday, they were over at West B Street doing some maintenance over there. And if you've driven by Prairie Creek, if you drove down North El Paso, you can see they've pretty much made it to El Paso, so you can kind of see what's going on there. And no issues at all with the Prairie Creek. Everything's going very smooth, knock on wood. So far, so that's all I have, unless y'all got questions.
I appreciate you taking care of that tree in
Yeah.
the creek, or in the whatever drainage area by the trail. That was nice to get that out of there before a big rain comes. So
Yes, sir, if y'all see them, let us know, because
Yeah.
we may see it eventually, but it may take a while. So if y'all see things like that, let us know and we'll take care of them.
I don't want to get into the whole full-blown update on downtown, but how far are we on like the walk signals and all that?
I'm not sure how to answer that. I know what we're waiting on for the walk signals, the overlay obviously, and before we can unbag the walk and don't walk signals, the crosswalks have to be down. That's an RDOT thing, so we can't do anything until crosswalks are down.
So RDOT has to do the overlay, and then we have to come back and do the crosswalks.
Yes,
Okay.
and then we can I mean, they're ready to go. They could be going now, we just don't have the
So
crosswalks.
they're not using the power from the building anymore, they're actually.
No, we actually got our own power now, so.
Now, we do have some streetlights that are running off extension cords from buildings right now. We still do that,
Yeah,
so.
we still got a few of those, yes.
I'm grateful that we do have, them all working right now, though, so that's good, so.
Do you want to share that good news you shared with me before we started?
Yeah,
about Public
yeah,
Works?
About Sawyer, I hadn't said, Sawyer's been working hard to get his PE.
Yes.
So we now have a second PE on
Professional
board.
engineer, yeah.
Sawyer
Good job,
passed.
Sawyer. Yeah.
And like I told Mr. Gray, I think he's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. We got a really, really good engineering team over there. We really do. So, yeah, we got a great. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Old business is going to be consideration ordinance amending the current zoning code. City of Russellville, adopted by ordinance 2443. This will be the second of 3 readings. This is from the Planning Commission. And then item 2 is going to be consideration ordinance accepting the dedications of right-of-ways and easements into the City of Russellville, the plat of the Hunt Estates minor subdivision, incidental subdivision upon Amy Lynn. That's just private property owners splitting up their property. That's going to be the second of 3 readings up there. Items for new business is going to be consideration ordinance reading, rezoning a property from R1 single residential to C2 highway commercial. This is located at 503 East Aspen Lane on behalf of Derek Brown and behalf of Gary Scarborough. Mr. Wilson, what can you tell us about this real quick?
Yes, sir. Good evening. So this is a rezoning from R1 to C2, like you mentioned. The applicant is trying to operate a professional office for church-based counseling with I believe it's the Arkansas Baptist Church. Currently, it's zoned R1. It's a strange situation because the structure appears to be a duplex, which would not be permissible in an R1. Evidently, it's been built since like the 1980s, and it's been used intermittently as auxiliary offices for the adjacent church in the past. They moved in thinking that they could operate, and unfortunately they could not because it was zoned R1. Moving from R1 to C2, understandably, usually causes a lot of questions. That area, the Highway 40 interchange is it's in the comprehensive plan as being a suburban center, which is geared towards C3, which is actually our highest commercial, besides the casino district, the highest commercial level zone that we have. We opted, instead of making that jump to be as in line with the comprehensive plan as possible, we were going to move to C2, which is an increased intensity. However, it still kind of moves with the target because everything else in that area is also C2 on that Aspen Lane corridor.
Any questions on that?
So this, Mr. Keller, this came out of Planning Commission, okay, because that's the first thing I asked him tonight was R1 to C2. You're going from R1 to the Wild Wild West, so.
Yeah, we used to get the vote count on here. Can we get that back?
I'd like to see
It
that
was
too.
unanimous.
Did you? Yeah, normally, yeah, so it was unanimous, Mr. Keller?
Yes.
Okay.
If I might add, one of our planning commissioners, Ms. Clear, she did bring up the point, what happens, to surrounding residential if, say, somebody comes in and wants, after these offices leave, and wants to develop it as something else. They would still have to they would be required to meet the commercial residential screening requirements, so they would have to erect a 6-foot privacy fence with all surrounding residential use, for what it's worth. Correct. Correct.
Yeah, but going from C2 back to something else is almost impossible.
I think in that area, I think it'd be highly unlikely we're going to go back.
Right.
Is
No.
that what your thoughts are, Mr. Keller?
We'd had I had the two of them, I've been through here for about 20 minutes after the meeting the other day, just asking about it. It's right next to already C2, so it's not a spot zoning issue. It's in line with everything there, and it's out of the ordinary, but not at the same time.
Okay. Any other discussion on that one? All right. Item 2, the next item is going to be consideration of an ordinance rezoning the property from R2 medium-density residential to a C4 neighborhood and quiet business. This is located at 800 Williamson Way. This is Ashton Smith on behalf of Christian Missionary Alliance. We're looking at doing this, is this where we're talking about the sign, I believe?
Yes. So we made changes in the zoning code to allow digital signs in the C4 Neighborhood Quiet Business Zone via special use permit. And this church was looking to kind of move along as that gets implemented over the next couple of months. So they are seeking the rezoning ahead of time.
Okay.
With a digital sign?
Yes.
And what are our constraints on the digital signs?
We do have specifics about lumens, and I believe they're called foot candles. I can't remember off the top of my head the brightness measure. But we do have language in the zoning code that is supposed to mitigate overly excessively bright signs during night hours.
And code enforcement can deal with that after the fact? Because when one of the schools put one in a neighborhood, this was 10 or 15 years ago, it was, if I lived across the street from it, I would have been,
well,
I'd have been medicated.
I'm not sure about back then.
It
but
was a disco. It was
really?
Yeah, it's like a disco.
At least now we have language that would give that teeth.
Okay.
So ostensibly, code enforcement could act on it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, and this is over on Williamson Way, correct? Yep.
Yes.
And then item 3 is consideration of a resolution setting a public hearing for the vacation in North Jackson Avenue right-of-way adjacent to Lot 7 and 12, Block 88 of the JL Center District, submitted by Barrett and Associates on behalf of Clarence Harbor and Armando. What is, what's the, where's this at? And, because it does say JL Center subdivision, and where are we talking about?
Yeah.
What are they vacating?
Right behind Domino's.
Right behind Domino's,
so
okay.
right behind Domino's, kind of close to the Public Works building. It is a
Which Domino's? No, I'm just kidding. No.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The East Domino's.
It's kind of a stub out of the road. There has no throughway
Okay,
to
yes.
the next road. There's to the west side of the lot is a developing apartment complex, and then east of that is just further residential houses. Currently, between Mr. Harbor and Mr. Cienfuegos, those are the two adjoining property owners. They are going to split it down the middle, as is usual with a vacation. The conditions that Planning Commission forwarded were that there was going to be a 15-foot drainage easement, a 15-foot access easement, and paving that currently existing gravel drive to the back of the apartment complexes so that city services or maintenance crews can access those ditches easier that are back in the alley.
Awesome.
I know that at the meeting, the foot,
Yes.
the length of the two different right-of-ways were flipped.
For the easements?
The easement, yeah,
Yes.
the easements were flipped.
Yes, so it was
So-
initially that 10 and then 20, right?
Yeah, so since that all happened at the meeting, have you guys had a chance to go back and look at it to make sure that
So
that's going to be adequate?
The applicant has submitted the paperwork showing that it's going to be those 15 feet easements. My understanding is that if engineering is happy with the 15-foot wide easements, then we're happy with that.
Okay, cool. I just know that it was sprung at us at the meeting, and no one was prepared for that, so I just wanted to make sure that it was still good. Okay, thank you.
And I talked to you earlier, but I want to double check, because when I was reading, I probably missed it. I saw gravel.
Right, yes.
But I don't think I ever saw paving, but it's probably in there. But this it came out of the planning commission, it will be paved, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The third condition, I believe, in the staff report
all
should
right.
say that it is going to take the gravel to
All
a
right,
paved
thank you.
surface. Thank you.
It is on the agenda.
Yeah, no, I said I probably missed it, but
Okay. Oh, you're right. That's not,
I'm
that
just
doesn't happen very often.
doing due diligence.
We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Anybody else have any questions for Mr. Wilson? Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Does anyone else? Our next meeting will be next Thursday, of course. And then our finance committee will be meeting on February 10th. Does anyone else have any other questions? All right. Thank you for all the youth council that showed up. That's a pretty impressive group there. I'm super excited
They are
about that.
very impressive.
Yeah, that's exciting. All right. We will adjourn. Thank you. I take a motion. Motion to adjourn. All right. We'll adjourn.